Hey guys, so it's me Alyssa, or Blue Dress Beauty, and today I'm going to be doing a video on all of my brushes and how I use them. This was pretty requested, so I thought that I would share it with you guys. Sorry I haven't been uploading. I lost my camera. I have no idea where it is. So I'm filming on my iPhone right now, and I hope that it's good enough quality. I'll just keep looking for my camera and we'll see what happens, but I lost it and I don't know where it is, and I don't really know, but yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with the video, I guess. So these are my brushes, and you probably saw these in my makeup collection, and I just labeled it. It says Alyssa's brushes, and if you're wondering, this is just a glass container. You can basically get them anywhere, and then I cut it, I cut wrapping paper to the size of the part of the container that I wanted to cover, and then I covered it to make it look a little bit cuter than it just being glass. Alright, so here are all of my brushes, and I guess I'll basically just go ahead and start with the face brushes and then work into the eye brushes. And starting off, I'm going to start off with my two foundation brushes that I have. Actually, I have three. So my three foundation brushes, and I'll explain the different kinds and tell you guys how I use them, and then I'll do a quick demo to show you guys. So basically, this is the first kind, and this is from Real Techniques, and it's a stippling brush. And what I like to use the stippling brush for is you're going to take your foundation, pour it onto the back of your hand, and this is best for liquid foundation, obviously. And then you're just going to dab it in, and you can see the bristles are completely flat on this side. So yeah, and then they're very kind of dense. So you're gonna dip it in, and then you're gonna stipple it onto your face like this. So this is how stippling is applied. So you're just going to stipple it on to your face. And this is gonna give you kind of an airbrushed look to your face when you stipple. The next brush that I have is this buffing brush from Coastal Scents. And this has two different uses. The first use is you can use it for your foundation once again. You're just going to put some on the back of your hand, get it, and the way that you're going to do this is you're going to work it into your face in circular motions. And this is basically going to let it kind of soak into your face, and it's going to give you the most natural look with this brush. Also, what you can do is, since it's called a buffing brush, as you know, you can take this and kind of, if you already put foundation on and you want to make sure that the line between, say, your face and your neck is nice and clean or whatever, you can just buff it in like this, and it'll make sure that your foundation is nice and blended well. So this brush is really good for applying natural foundation and for blending in foundation that looks a little bit streaky. The last brush that I have is one that I don't use very much, and I don't recommend it too much either. And this is basically just a regular foundation brush, and it basically just looks like this. And it's just a big brush. And the reason why I don't like these is because when you use it, it's pretty streaky. It'll definitely show streaks on your skin, and this will not be able to blend it in. If you want to use this to first apply the foundation and then you want to blend it in with this or something, this is probably, it would work that way. Onto powder brushes. Now I have two brushes from Sony Cosmetics that are kind of big powder brushes. This one I like to use for either all over the face powder or for when you have your whole face done, your bronzer and your blushes on, and you want to make sure that it all blends together. Then you can go ahead and take the brush and just kind of go like this and swirl it around and make sure that all of the color that you apply to your cheeks and your cheekbones and everything works really nicely and is blended together. So that's what I use this for. This one is just a tiny bit smaller, and I basically use it for the same thing. Next up, I have this, and this is the e.l.f. blush brush. And basically, it's kind of like tapered up at the top, and it's pretty flat. And as you can see, the difference between a blush brush and a powder brush is that the powder brush is very kind of domed and it's really loosely put in, whereas blush brush is kind of like it's kept inwards more. So that is what this is used for. And what you want to do with this is you'll kind of just take it and press it into the blush, and then you're just gonna kind of apply it to the apples of your cheeks like that. So that's what I use that for. Next up, I have a fan brush, and this is also from Sony. And what I use the fan brush for is when I have fallout underneath my eyes. This is very, very gentle, so it works really well to just gently sweep the fallout away so that you don't end up, say if you're using a bright color and you see some fallout, you don't want to just go like this because then the bright color is going to smear. If you use this, it'll just gently kind of wisp it away so that you won't have that kind of color underneath where you don't want the color to be. So that's what I use this for. This is also really good for if you have a powder highlight. You can kind of just lightly sweep it across your cheekbones like this. So that's another use. Now on to the eye brushes. I'll start off with my basic eyeshadow brushes. I have these two here from Sony. And basically they're just very large flat brushes, and all that you want to do with these is they're best for just picking up a lid color, so the color that you're going to put on this part of your lid, and just sweeping it across your lid. That's what both of these are good for. Now if you want a more concentrated color on your lid, say you're trying to pack a color on, I recommend this one. It's a little bit smaller, as you can see, than the other one, but it's the same shape. There's less brushes too. And this is gonna be the best for basically taking the color and packing it onto the lid. So if you want a light flush of color, use one of these. And if you want to pack the color onto the lid for a very intense look, you wanna use one of the smaller brushes. Next up, I have two angled brushes. It doesn't really matter which one I use, except for this one is a lot thinner, this one is a lot thicker, if you can see. This one's actually a paintbrush and this one's from Sony, but I like both of them. What I like to use these for is filling in my brows. I actually use the color Tease from the Naked Naked 2 palette, which is like this kind of purpley brownish color. It's matte and it works really well for my eyebrows, for like my hair color, and I like to use this one more so for that because it's very precise. This one I like to use for that as well if I can't find this one, but what I use it for more often is if I want a kind of smoky look on my upper or lower lash line. This is kind of a thicker brush, so you can still get that concentration where you want it, but it's gonna smoke it out a little bit more. Now next up, we have the brush from the Naked 2 palette. I personally use this for concealer, and not everybody does, but I do, because I find that it's a little bit too stiff for actual eyeshadow. So what I like to do is I'll take this end, which is the eyeshadow end, I'll dip it into the concealer, and I like to use this with my MAC Studio Finish concealer because this is kind of a thick, creamy consistency. I like to put it on, and then I'll put it on the problem area like this, and then I'll take the other side and I'll use that side to blend it out. So I like to use this for concealer. I apply it with this, and then I blend it out with this. Next up, I have a concentrated crease brush, and this is from Ulta. And I use this to basically, when I want a super duper concentrated color in my crease, that's when I'll use this. So I'll basically, if I want like a really dark color in my outer V, or if I want a specific shape to my outer crease, say a circle or a kind of triangle kind of shape, I'll use this and it kind of packs the color in. Now a brush that I don't have with me right now is actually a blending brush, which is very important. Blending brushes basically look like this, except for in a super duper small version. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna help to blend out any of the eyeshadow that you have on. So if you have, say, a lid color and a crease color, you're gonna wanna blend the two together and you use a crease brush, a blending crease brush for that. So that's what those are for. Last but not least, actually this isn't last, but still, I have this lip brush, and actually what I use this for is, if you can see, I have black on it, and what I like to use this for is I'll take black eyeshadow and I'll dip it in, and then I'll use it to either tight line or to put like black eyeshadow on the waterline. I don't use black eyeliner, I only use eyeshadow because it lasts longer, but I don't use this for my lips, I just use it to pack on like lighter colors. And then I have my last brush, which is this one, and most people might think that this is kind of useless, but I love this. What it basically is once you've done your brows, you're gonna want to blend it out because you don't want your brows to look too harsh. And what I like to use this for is I basically just brush out my brows to the desired kind of look. And that's what I use this for. So those are all of my brushes. I hope that this is helpful for you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing my brushes, and I hope that you guys learned some stuff, hopefully. So if you did, then make sure to thumbs it up and give me some comments down below. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.